I don't know what we can talk about in this nation without talking about white superiority, honestly.
Who defines the meaning of God also defines the relationship between economy and God.
African Americans spent $1.3 trillion last year, making us the 16th wealthiest nation in the world. Why have we not turned those riches into wealth to develop our community?
All right, peace, family. I hope everyone is doing well today. It has been a good, a good day. It rained a little earlier, but now sun is out. I have two beautiful women that will be joining me today, so this is going to be great. It's just the spirit of these two women. Oh my! I just want to give a couple of shout outs to people that's already here. We see Rashamela Combo. How are you doing? Oh, we got Ruth Jackson from Georgia. That's what's up. And so, and Yama, I hope I'm saying your name right. Oh, that's I love the name. All right. Oh, and we have Mr. Hill, Simply Saved. It's so nice to see you guys. And while people are coming in, I just want to reiterate. Okay, we are close to 25,000 viewers, subscribers on our YouTube channel. So if you are not yet subscribed to us on YouTube, I need for you guys just to go and hit the little button, subscribe, and make sure you hit the bell, the little bell right there, because that means that now you will receive notifications, and that's really important. So as soon as we go live, that means you know exactly when we are going live, so that you can tune in and see, what we have going on. And I see Brian Smith. And what's nice about this is that I see a lot of you guys, when I'm on Dr. Susan Tatah's show, I see a lot of you guys that are here now on her show. So that's what's up. We really appreciate the support. So make sure that you guys are liking and subscribing to us on all of our social media platforms. Right there. It's hapifilm. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And again, we are looking to get 25,000 subscribers on our YouTube, and we are super close. I think we're like shy 200 subscribers, which is nothing when you think about the planet. There's like, a couple billion Black people. So I think we could get 200 subscribers to join us, to join the HAPI movement. Okay. And my next little bit of news before I bring these lovely young ladies on is, we're going to go to Kemet on September 9th through the 17th. And we have a few slots left if you are interested in joining us. You can head to our hapifilm.com website and get all the information that you need if you want to join us to our trip to Kemet on September 9th through the 17th. And it's exciting because we're going to have Mfudishi Jehuti Miss is going to be leading the tour. So that's Mfudishi Jehuti Miss is always a big bundle of energy. So it's really, if you want to travel with us, you'll have a good time. And also, how you doing, Ronnie? When you go to hapifilm.com, there's a couple things that we need for you to do. Okay, especially when you're part of the HAPI movement. Number one is that we need for you to subscribe to the HAPI newsletter. Okay, and that's super important. This newsletter is put together so that we can disseminate information amongst the family quickly and effectively. And the newsletter is nice because we have a health article. We always talk about an economic innovator, someone who's laid the pathway for us to be where we are in terms of economics right now. We give a HAPI update. We give some financial 101 news, which is super important. When you're trying to lead an economic movement, it's important that we are financially literate. So we always give out that type of information. And we also showcase Black businesses. Okay, so if you go to our website, hapifilm.com, you just hit the Get Connected button, put in your email address, we get it, and then we'll make sure that you are added to our list. Also, while you're there, you can we have all type of happy merchandise. We have our documentary DVD, or you can actually stream it. And we have Todd Key Grant's 2 other films, The Tekken and Nubia, The Untold Story. And we also have t-shirts, and I actually have one on today. Let me just show this one there. The bright orange. Orange is good on our skin, but we have our HAPI t-shirts. So, make sure you just head to hapifilm.com, and yeah, you can pick up everything you need. Okay. So without further ado, okay, and I was just sitting here thinking, this is nice because both of these ladies was part of the One Africa Power and Unity Conference. And so I would like to bring on Nana Bayyinah Bello.
Here I am.
Yes, you are. Here you are. And Dr. Susan Tatah.
Hi.
There you go. Greetings.
Hello.
Yay. So what? Yes, I just realized that this is Dr. Susan Tatah's first visit to HAPI Talks, which is beautiful. This is nice.
I never even thought about that, Felicia. How come?
I know, because you and I talk all the time, and I'm on your show, but this is the first time that you've actually been on HAPI Talks. So welcome.
Thank you.
So yes. This is Pan Africanism right here, which is what we're going to talk about. So I first want to just start off with you, Nana Bello. Can you talk a little bit about your experience with the One Africa Power and Unity Conference? Because we haven't had you on since you gave your powerful speech. And it's so interesting because you had one thing set up, but then once you got there and you said, "Oh, this is the power of unity," you did a whole different thing. And so, can you just talk about your views, your feelings?
First of all, it was a fantastic experience. I'm not a very people, so I don't go to lots of things with lots of people, and when I go, I'm sort of not comfortable. But there, it was a totally different story. The conference went on forever. I mean, in and out, we were having conferences.
Yes.
Everywhere you turn, in every corner by the steps next to the elevator, there was a group there having another program. So it was another program, but the same program. We never left the theme. One Africa was the subject. And and every single presentation was fantastic. There wasn't one that I said, well, maybe I'll leave this one. Let me go read my book or do something. But no, there was, even if I said that when the person started talking, I was glued to my seat. And so it was great because we had people of all ages, presenters of all ages, and every single one of them had something very important to share with the rest of the family. All the subjects were vital. I remember that brother from Detroit who was talking about the youth and people having difficulties adjusting and whatnot. We learned so much from what he shared with us. And
Yes.
I think it was extremely powerful. It was truly a One Africa Power Conference. And I am very blessed to have been part of it. And I have grown from having listened to young and old who contributed to this event.
Yeah, you know what? That's yeah. I felt like it was the baton passing from the Jamaican 4x100 relay girls, because they're fast, and every time they pass a baton, the next girl is even faster than the one before.
Exactly.
And it was seamless. And absolutely, I think you're talking about Dr. Ken Harris. He was our MC from
Hmm.
Detroit.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. Yeah,
Yes.
he, everything just came together so nice.
Yes.
It's just, yeah.
By the way, I think something's really was going on in that meeting, something spiritually important. That's the first time I saw Dr. J kick up his feet all the way. Whoa.
Yeah,
I,
his
what happened?
yeah, his feet were they were 90 degrees off the ground.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. There was
And not
definitely
just once.
yeah, you're right. He did it. I think he did it 2 times. Yeah, and then he bent down on one knee a couple of times. Yeah. I was trying to explain to someone the feeling in Detroit, and as soon as you walked into the hotel, you smelled the sage. But it was really, it's exactly what you're talking about. I didn't think that you were not a people person because the way you were holding court all the time. You were just sitting there, you had people at your feet, people standing, staring, and you were talking. I mean, it did not, you look like the quintessential people person. So, yeah. And I think we actually, and family, if you want to see some pictures of Nana Bello, you can actually go to our Instagram or Facebook page because we have one where she's sitting there and it's like all these people are just like standing next, like just looking at her and she's talking. I don't even know what she was talking about, but it was a really intense picture. So you can check that out on our Instagram or our Facebook page. So Dr. Tatah, you were supposed to join us there, and all type of little forces were trying to stop you, but you joined us there virtually. You were right there in that room. Can you talk about your experience?
Oh, I think Mama Bello already summarized everything. It was just, I don't know, it was just the time. It was the time. I don't know how to describe whether it's even perfect to say it was an experience that we had because it was like, the ancestors just connected us. Every spirit that had to be in that place had to be there. There was no mistake. And that's why the whole setup was just complete. Nothing was missing. The guest speakers from every other thing that happened just had to be part of the big plan. Um,
Oh.
uh, and we could feel that. We could see it, and that was just the beginning of like like I said, the crossover. And so even any other experiences and challenges that we had or after this conference in Detroit is just like a wind that blows through you. And so you're not going to be punched like before that conference. And I think that complete process actually took us to the next level, which we are now. And we could feel that vibration and it keeps going on and we keep rising and it really was that point where we had to elevate that where the ancestors had to really like pull us up and say this is it now and you can just go on your journey. So I don't think the protection and everything that we just had it at that conference and now we're just exhibiting and just flying. That's it.
Yeah. You know,
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's so interesting because I remember one of the things that there were several things in your speech that brought me to tears. But when you said when you talked about all of us, that we already said we were going to be here. We already said we were going to be doing this. We talked about this a long, long time ago. Everyone in this room had agreed to be here at this time, and I just started thinking about that. And in fact, every time I think about anything since that day, I think about it like, okay, wait, this is already written out. We've already said we are going to do this, and it gives me confidence and it gives me a reassurance, that these steps that we're taking have already been outlined for us. Um, which is interesting because I know, which is a nice little segue to talk about what you're doing in Germany, because we had a lot of difficulties in getting this conference going. And family, it was supposed to be in Egypt in February, and some things happened where we had to pivot and decide, really define who we were going to be and who we were, right? And so we decided to have the conference. We changed the name because it was really about this idea of power and unity, and we had it in Detroit. And so it seems like when you are on the right track, there's always some drama around trying to stop you. And I know that you are, Dr. Tatah, you're getting ready to do this huge festival. Can you just talk to us a little bit about the background and what's going on there?
It is the same process. I think, like, from what I noticed, even when I read about Professor Bayyinah Bello and all her journeys and everything, it's the same. It's just in a different format, and then happening maybe in another constellation or a setup or a background, depending on the space where we find ourselves. But if you look at all, everything is identical, and it's not a coincidence that is happening like that. Like, what already happened before you went to Egypt was already that sign that every other thing is going to happen like that, and that the process would be stopped, but it can never be. It would be delayed, but it will never be stopped. It's the same experience that we're going through in Germany, and we realized that when we had put on this thing, sometimes we don't believe in our greatness ourselves. We do know that
Almost,
we're really
almost
powerful.
always we fail to believe in
Yes.
our greatness.
Exactly. Almost always. I like that. So sometimes we know already that we're the creators. We just know it. It is there, but the belief sometimes we still feel when we look at ourselves in the mirror, we don't look at ourselves in our eyes, we see our face, and then we just go back to our flesh. And so we don't acknowledge that greatness in us. And that's when we always fall. It's the same thing when I was doing it, and I begin to feel like, oh, this is getting so big. Oh, this is getting so, because I just looked in the mirror and I thought this was too big. But of course, that's how it has to be big. And then you see in between of
Yes.
this, we drop down to the level which our consciousness takes us back and reduce us in that smallness, and then we begin to crumble. So I think it's all what happened in Germany is not different from what happened in Haiti when Professor Baino was going on her journey. It's not different from what happened in Detroit. It's not different from what is happening to all of our projects. But it's just like, because it's this one and then it looks like, but it's the same pieces of the one puzzle that we're looking for. I think the fundamental thing is we are unstoppable. That's just all.
Yes.
It doesn't happen
Yes.
what kind of format is going to be delayed, but it's just that time we crossed over in Detroit. And the moment we keep always just defining it and move, nothing is going to set us back. So, yes, we had a delay. They just suddenly 1 week and just put a limitation. No, this is not going to happen. After we bought tickets, we invite people, we paid everything and stuff like that. You can imagine such a huge a challenge that we had to. But now you can see how the greatness takes this fear into people, and even that fear comes back to us. And we shut it down. I said, no, we cannot diminish Africa into 500, because that's just the trick. People can just look at it and like it was a delay. No, it is really systematically designed to have been like that. Like, you have to be so reduced that they just have to see you the way you're so miniate. And I asked, has Africa really shrinked? Have the Africans shrink? So what's this limitation of about? And then I like, okay, we have a couple of days to go, everything is paid and that, but you know what, it must not happen if our will to do it is not there. And I stopped it. I said, no, we canceled. And suddenly, because of that action, then they shock him. They themselves were like, because they don't believe that we Africans can really take some measures and discipline some systems. They just think that, oh, we have to go with the flow. And then we start thinking, oh, I invested time, I put money, people have bought tickets. These are people on the continent that we think they're so poor, they bought ticket and they're buying it again to come. That's the strength, and that's the power, and that's the faith when we know who we are, like Professor Bayyinah is saying all the time, right? And so we are back to it again. We're gonna host. We reschedule on the 1st to the 4th. Nothing is gonna stop it. The same thing that had to happen would happen maybe 3 times even bigger. All right. And
Yeah.
The spirit.
Yeah. It's so interesting that you say that because that's true. It's like, in our minds, we had this idea of what was going to be happening. We're like, oh, we're going to do this and this. But, Spirit was like, yeah, no, no, we're going to actually do something that's going to be bigger. And we think about the live stream that we had going on and family, you can, if you go to hapifilm.com, you can actually get a copy. It's 12 hours. The One Africa conference is 12 hours. We cut out all the little breaks in between and put it all together, but it's 12 hours of the best must-see TV because every day, okay, you can just watch one person and just reflect on it and meditate on one of the scholars there in terms of, the message that they had to share. But one of the things you said, Dr. Tatah, that I wanted to just go back to when you talked about the crossover. Can you just talk to the family about what exactly the crossover is and why it's happening right now?
um crossover for how many years? That's the first question. What are we crossing over? What brought us here? And where are we crossing to? Those barriers, those bridges, those distances, those paths that we transcended into it. Like I said, it was just a download coming from the ancestors because it's not something that like I rehearse or say, okay, this was. That's why even as I'm talking to you now, I have to get another purpose to say this was actually because I was given that message at that time. And because everything that we're doing now is still that reunion that we had decided that it was going to happen like that. And so there was never a coincidence. That Detroit coming together was that crossover of sight. We will never be that Africa that the world defines us to be. It is our turn to define who we are, the Africa we want, how we want it, anyhow, even if we have to split it again, but that would be our decision. So that crossover was just, we are done with what the systems have defined us. It is time that our ancestors are coming and say, you know what, you're the co-creators and you can redesign what you already had planned 400, 500 years ago. And so take it over to that step. I want to use a quote that Maponga said today on the live show this afternoon when we were talking. He said, the diaspora, if he wants to look at even their biblical system, he would measure us to Joseph that was sold into slavery. And when Joseph came to Egypt and he became the governor and he became the solution and to his people. And so that time is this time that we crossed over and the solution that we were sold into the slavery and we became the solution is just a time back. So I don't know. It's just the way it is, the way it came. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me add this on crossover. Everything is planned, but those of us who are here must pay. There is a price for everything, and that's often what scares us. But one example that we need to remember, Queen Poku of Ivory Coast. When Queen Poku was being chased after by the enemy's army, and they got to the point where the river was overflowing, so they couldn't cross the river. And on the other side is the enemy marching on. And when they call on the oracles to find out what's gonna happen now, are we going to just die here? The oracle says there is need for young royal blood for the river to let us go. And Queen Poku, I don't want to take a lot of time, but she's over 50. She has a 2-year-old baby. She went through 3 marriages and was rejected because she never gave, she was never pregnant. And this is her only child, and her husband was killed. So, which is why she's running away and whatnot. And now the river asks for this. So the generals try to find some other women who have 8, 10, 12 children to give one, but none were willing. So Queen Poku took her baby, went to the river, dropped the child in the river.
Mm.
And right then and there, the water went low and everybody could cross. And as soon as they crossed, then the water rose back again. So the enemy could not follow. So many times in our lives, we come to the river. It's time to cross over. But are we willing to pay the price?
Mm. Mm.
Many of the
Yeah.
women who had 6 and 8 and 10 children could have given one of their children, but no one was willing except for Queen Poku. And this is the woman who started what we know today as Ivory Coast.
Wow. Oh my God. Thank you. Um, wow. you know, you got to be about that life if you're going to do this. She was about it. Wow.
Yes, it's serious business is serious business all the way.
Yeah.
It doesn't have, well, I could do it and I can dance here and I could,
Yeah.
no. Serious business is serious business. And we're talking about saving a people, we're talking about saving a race, we're talking about rising back to our own height. These are very expensive.
Mm.
Crossing over, we must pay. It's not free.
Yeah. And I have to say, this process, when you're working and you're just in it. A lot of times, I think as younger people, we don't always understand the role of elders, and not all older people are in true like eldership. But I have to say, family, Nana Bello is she about it because when we were going through a lot of different things, I would have a conversation with her, and she'd say a couple little things, which kept us going. And so I have to say thank you, Nana Bello. Um, but it's just like, right now, and you're so right. I think up until that point, we were like, oh, we're doing this, but we understood that it started to get serious. When our business started to get serious, then attacks started to get a little bit serious, or a lot serious.
Mhm.
The same with, you know, with Dr. Tatah.
Actually, it's because we don't have the right understanding of it is a law of life. If I'm doing nothing, I'm just living day by day, whatever comes and whatnot, there will not be any obstacles in front of me. But the minute I say, by Friday, I want to get this done. Okay. Oh, you want to get this done? We're gonna test you. Are you serious? Pen don't work no more. The phone is acting up. This thing is, everything
Yeah.
will come in the way to make you say, well, I'll do it next month.
Mm.
I'll do it next year. Okay. Once you set an objective, that's when obstacles set come in front of you. But if you're just going by, you know,
Mm.
so we must
Wow.
be aware of that. Every
Yeah.
time you set a high objective, then you must say to yourself, what is the price? Then you're not surprised when obstacles come in your way.
Yes.
You are ready, you are prepared. You know that's part of that's the way it goes.
Yeah, you're a warrior for real, for real. Let me tell you. I mean, it was there was I would tell you things and you were like, okay, do blah 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 blah. You wasn't like how sometimes people are emotional, like, oh, I can't believe that, da da da. No, 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 not Nana Bello. She was like da 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 da. You're like, okay, like a true warrior in this. So I so appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Appreciate you.
Yes, Dr. Tatah, her too. You guys you just say things just like, okay, all right, things are gonna be good. Okay, we're doing this now. We're doing this now. I love it.
Yes,
You want
because
to?
I think in her talk, I'm sorry, in Detroit, I don't think I I had tears in my eyes in the past 15 years.
Mm,
But when Dr. Tata was speaking in Detroit, it just ran.
mm, mm.
And absolutely marked by the message. But I also was very much, and I'm still, I carry on with the 1212. Till this
yes,
Yes.
day, my phone rings at 1212, and I say, solidarity and unity among all the children of Africa throughout our planet Earth.
Yes.
Every day.
Asha.
And if I'm in a meeting, everyone has to either listen to me say it for 1 minute or join in.
Mm.
Wherever I am, whatever I'm doing, when 1212 rings, that's it. Everything stops. And that's what we do.
Yeah. Um, I was trying to put in words after Dr. Tata spoke, especially when you said, you are me, we are the same, and I just couldn't, I, you know, it just the words just wasn't coming out in terms of just how everything she said it just moved everybody. The room was quiet and there was over 250 people in that room and you could hear a pin drop because we were just staring at you, Dr. Tata. And I know we've talked since and you were just like, I don't even remember some of the things I said because something else was coming through you. um, have you had a chance to reflect on your speech?
Um, I think everything happens at that time for that purpose to which it was intended for.
Mm,
But when I look back, everything that defines us or defines me is I'm a village girl, and I
mm,
come from the village where I saw our mothers focus on raising their children, building their homes, sending them to school with nothing, no support, nothing, not even thinking that something else, like you just hope in nothing and it happens. And so some of the times I used to think that, we're too privileged in our thinking, not because of that we want it to be that way, but we're just unfortunate that we are in that system that we train that way. Um, the strength of us Africans, particularly the women, the mothers, the strength is, I cannot describe it because I saw it with my eyes as a child. And when you see things as a child, those images, they stay in you forever. They really define you. That strength, that unity that I saw in the local community, in the villages, and you could see that 12 spirit of oneness, of without you I cannot be a part. How the
mm,
women organize themselves, put their little finances together to support the needy in the community, to support those children that their own parents could not afford education for them, even the ones that were still the needy, but they had to come together and form this little what we call in Cameroon Jangi or Tontine, you call it in any Ompesa, this kind of economy that local women, most of them could, like I said, from the generation of my mom or my grandma, they couldn't read and write. But how did they do this bookkeeping that till today we are not able to form an economy that could grow us? It is unbelievable. And so the 12-12 movement, it was no you without me. It is. And so
Without me.
when I look into that conference and I see you, I see me, I don't even know how to differentiate or even to put some barriers. She's from Haiti, she's from America, she's from the Caribbean, it's just not possible. I don't know how on earth we did ever found ourselves to realize the difference between us because it doesn't exist. It's only the oneness, the completeness, the one missing part of the 12 that met the other 12 and it became a whole. It's just like that. I don't know how else I really can explain it, but it's just not possible. And that's why until this 12-12 that we prophesy, we put it into us, we share the vibration to remind us, to constantly remind us that the lost I found, the other part of me I have now. And so I'm just complete. And we move and carry on that. There's nothing that can break that puzzle again. When we set these alarms, we had set it and it's going on. It's like Mama Bello is saying, all my children and everybody, anywhere, anytime, and they always like, your phone is always ringing, and it's sometimes again, I don't even say it out. I just memorize it or I just smile.
Yeah.
Like I'm just giving back to the other half. It's the magic that is unexplainable, how great and how complete and how we are now in this Africanness, in this Pan Africanism, in the unity.
Yes.
Sometimes we're still thinking that it has to be different. No, it is all gone. In Detroit, we had already agreed on that. And so we
Yes.
cannot be repeating it again and say we need the power in you. No, 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 no. It's just a mistake. We should never even go back to it. We should just be exhibiting it and just move accordingly. So I would encourage anyone that is watching us, go to that hapifilm.com. If you were not a part of that process for whatever reason, even if you were a part, you still have to play the role to make sure that it gets to all nooks and corners on the diaspora and in the on the continent. It is our job, it's our duty to complete it. That's the mission that I think Mama Bello is saying. It's a sacrifice. And I think it's the last sacrifice our own now is doing to be able to liberate the next future. We must do it. I thank
You
you.
must do it. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So, so this idea, so now, and, this is why I want to have this conversation because I've seen this conversation a lot. I haven't seen, necessarily like women talking about like their views on it, but there's this whole idea of FBA, foundational Black people, and this idea of Pan Africanism and how these two things can't exist amongst each other, or like that we they're at odds. First, Bayyinah Bello, can you just, because Dr. Tatah gave us our idea of this Pan Africanism, from your point of view, can you just talk to us about what Pan Africanism means to you?
Okay. Let's look at life in a general way. We're like into a small box, into a bigger box, into a larger box, into an even bigger one. When I say, for example, I am Aishan, I'm talking of that small box out of the small territorial box, IT. But if I say I'm from the island of IT, that island has been named IT for more than 4,000 years. I am expanding, okay, from the Republic of Haiti is a part of an island, but the island of Haiti is a larger space. Then I'm seeing myself as someone from a larger space. When I say I'm from the Caribbean, I'm even larger, expanding some more. as to how I view myself in the territory that I belong to. If I say,
Mhm.
well, today, since they say America, I say, I'm an American. People say, oh, you from the United States? No. America is the name of a continent. So
Mhm.
when I say I'm an American, everyone from north to south and all the Caribbean are part of the American continent. So I'm
Mm.
talking of my continental nationality. I am an American.
Ashe. Yes.
Now I can expand some more. When I say I'm an African, yes, I am englobing all of the earth, in fact, because from Africa, the first people came and went through all the other parts of the earth
Mhm.
and transformed and expanded, became the various differences. When they put the uh, the when they want to put the emphasis on the differences. Okay, but if we were talking of facts, reality, it's just an African who moved over to what is now called Asia and turned into what we call Asians. So when I say I'm African, I'm all of this. But I have
Yes.
another way of saying I am an Earthian woman. I belong to the planet Earth.
Yes.
So as a Earth person, I am African and I'm American and I'm Asian and I'm this and I'm that, no matter North Pole, South Pole, whichever way you want to take it, that's your business. But I belong to this earth. I don't have to
Ashe.
limit myself to there. I
Mm.
am I belong to the galaxy in which I live. That's also
Mm.
my nationality. And in this galaxy, the galaxy is in a universe, and there are many galaxies into each universe. So I am
Yes.
a universal woman.
Mm.
Need the sun, I need the earth. When I breathe oxygen, I don't know if it comes from Pluto or some other wherever, the oxygen that I'm breathing. The water that I'm drinking, I don't know where it comes from. I may think it's the river down the road, but no, because the rain and everything, there's only one water in the entire planet. So I could have water from anywhere. And that's why if we're wasteful any place on the planet, we will hurt all the other parts of the planet.
Yes. Ashe.
So
Mm.
if I view myself, if I see my nationality as limited to Haiti, or I can even
Yes.
reduce myself even more. I know I'm from Petit Guave, my small town, or I'm from Boucambelier, an even smaller part of the town. I'm from Lahat. I can reduce myself as much as I want. Or I can look at and view myself in my greatest expansions. And when I say that I am African, in fact, I don't even need to say pan because already being an African is being all the various different human lives that exist. But for political reasons, we will
Too
use the
powerful.
term Pan
Mm.
African to be a little clearer that yes, we are one with our family in the Caribbean, our family in the Americas, our family in Europe, our family in Asia, wherever, North Pole, South Pole, wherever we may be. We assume all of it. We reject no one. We reject no part
Oh
of ourselves.
yes.
So
Mm.
politically, we could call that Pan Africanism.
This is so powerful, Mama Bello. This is oh. Hmm. Hmm. Oh yes. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. Mm. Oh, this is so deep.
So how do we start? How do we start to make this move to when we start talking about the power of unity, right? And how do we really come together when there's groups of people who only want to just see themselves small?
Well, we don't have to worry about them. We don't have to
Yes.
worry. In fact, that's part of, to me, that's part of what slows our move. The thing
Mm,
is,
Mm.
be yourself. Okay?
Yes.
If sister, if Dr. Tata is herself and Bayyinah is herself, when Bayyinah looks at Dr. Tata, she looks at her and she says, "Oh, look how gorgeous I am." When she speaks, when she does this, when she does, and somebody might say, "Wait a minute, what you talking about?" So, yeah, look at me there.
look
Okay,
at me, look at me.
and when Dr. Tata looks at Bayyinah, she says, "Oh yeah, she's saying what I. That's exactly what I meant." Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we are not going to have an argument over how many buttons on the shirt and something was
Yes.
green or turquoise or blue. No, 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 no. We are looking at essence. We are looking at vital. So I look at her and I see me. I look at you and I see me. I look at my children and I see me. I look at my great grandchildren and I see me. Yesterday I was with my grandson who's 2, and I'm saying, that he is just he was going about the house because I was telling him we were talking about health, wealth, and power. He's 2 years old. And the next thing he comes back to me and says, "Grandma, look, health, wealth, and power. Health, wealth." And he made a song of, what we were talking about. And I was looking at this and I said, that is Baida. Yes. I'm forever creating a dance and a song in the classrooms or everywhere. The boy is doing exactly what her grandmother used to. So, if we can see the essence of things, we will not see all these differences. People who are forever picking on tiny differences are people who have limited themselves to the tiny appearances of things. But once we look at ourselves in our global view, see, why would I want to take something from Trinidad or harass Martinique or whatever because I want for IT? No, NIT was not created that way. That's why the founder of IT created an empire, the empire of freedom, and felt compelled. You imagine coming 312 years out of slavery? You finally fight 14 solid years of battle against the three biggest forces in this on this planet. You create your country, and number 4 on your budget, the fourth line, is money to help those fighting for freedom.
Mm.
It's not about building hospitals, building schools. Money to help those fighting for freedom. So immediately, if we understand anything, we understand that our founders understood clearly that freedom is not worth anything unless all of us are free.
Yeah.
Yes.
So just
Yeah.
having some tiny little island that is free, it means
Mm.
nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Mm. I
So
share.
they were dealing with essential. That's why when Miranda had problem in Ecuador, he came to Haiti, he found money, boats, men, guns to go continue the fight. When Bolivar had problem in Venezuela, he came to Haiti and he found what he needed to continue his fight. Because Haiti never viewed herself as some tiny little something that needs to preserve and steal and grab from everyone and take. No, we, the Haitian mentality is that we are here to serve. Anyone that wants to be themselves, we're happy to help you. And that's really the thing they hate most about us. We fought in the American Independence War, but the US did not come and fight in our independence war. When Greece was dying of famine, IT sent boats of coffee to the Greek government and told them, sell the coffee and feed your people. Because we do not view ourselves as something other than earth children. The earth, we are the guardians of this earth. We are here to protect as children of Africa who started off the human race. We are duty bound to protect and guard our planet.
Mm.
So we can't go into little border junk nonsense.
I love
Oh,
it.
my role model, my professor, my everything, Nana Bello. Just adorable. I don't know, speechless. If we are not inspired or don't get it, then I don't know whether we would ever find that place. It's a lot of distraction, Sister Felicia. I'm sorry for just into,
Mm-hmm.
but just to add to what it's a lot of distraction. If you look at the energy that you invest to think of saying that what or thinking what every other person did, it's not what the return on your investment to stop. Like, we're putting it in an economic way. You understand? The investment to just stop and follow these distractions, like whether it's entertaining or what, it's not worth it. What you want to get on that return. And that's why I truly just agree to everything she is saying. Like, it's a lot of distraction. Any other thing that is not part of the process is taken care of by the universe itself.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need to struggle to want to say, how do we? And you see, it doesn't even work. For how many years? Because people have become the demise of the gods themselves to say, I can do this. And that's why we fall into that notion of whether it's a politician or is somebody that, and in that Jesus figure, I can save you, I can help you, I can do, I. And the distraction continues. So what, like Mama Bello said, what if we just focus? This is my purpose. My only business
Yeah.
here on earth is how I take my people to the next level. That's all I'm interested in. And before you know, you're already achieving it. But if you come on that mission and you begin to say, okay, who do I take to help me on this? Who do I gather to do this? You're already stuck in the middle where you don't even know how to go. So I think we need to
Yeah.
stay focused and get away with the distractions. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I think that's part of this war piece is that those distractions. Once you turn your head over here to do this, then your mission is it's stopped. And that's exactly what they want to happen. So you have to stay right there. And I have to say again, Nana Bello, between you and Professor Small, you guys kept us without veering off to distractions and kept us on our plan, you know.
Yeah,
um,
my brother, yes, my brother, James Small.
which is it's yeah. Yeah, yeah, you guys are the like the feminine and the masculine, like the equal feminine and masculine energies. Um, but yeah, that's true. I'm glad you brought that up, Dr. Tata, about distractions, because a lot of times, I'm seeing that, just in this, in what we're just in how we're moving now, in terms of, making this happy movement. It's an economic movement because we believe if we have this power and unity, but this power and unity also means a power of working together and spending money together with each other and using our money to uplift each other. Um, there's a lot of side roads you can go with that. And so we're always like, but no, we're right here. We have to stay in this space, because this is how we can really get the freedom that you're talking about. Because, and it's so right, if one person is not free, if we're doing well over here, it doesn't even matter. Like, it doesn't matter. I was so funny that you mentioned that, because I had a conversation with my son this weekend. I took him to college, and that's a whole other thing. But as I'm talking to him, and I'm like, you have this opportunity, but this opportunity, I didn't use the words that you used, that it comes with a price, but really that's what I wish I would have had that language to say to him, because I'm like, you get to do this, but you also have to make sure that someone else gets this opportunity, that it doesn't stop with you. It didn't stop with you. I was given this opportunity. You're given this opportunity. And I think this is, I'm glad that you always give me good language, Dr. Bello. You always give me good language to use. You always summarize what it is I need to be, a good way to say what I'm trying to say. So thank you. Yeah. So,
Yes. Go ahead.
oh, okay. So now, so in terms of, in my mind, I was getting ready to have a whole different interview than I'm having right now. So can you just talk, and both of you, just talk a little bit about this idea of unity, right? You talked about that it comes with a price, and what does it look like? Like, what does unity look like?
The simplest way, I would say, unity comes from inside out. I am physically, biologically, I am a universe. And if Bayyinah's mind goes one way, Bayyinah's heart has a different road. Bayyinah's emotions going in a different way still. So there is war within Bayyinah. There is confusion within Bayyinah. There is all kind of violence. Look at the language we are conditioned to use. You say, so and so had a heart attack. How could your heart attack you? No. Bad language, negative language, and it's not healthy. Okay? So there are many things that even though we hear them, even though the society sort of imposes them, we must fight them off. Okay? So I must create unity within Bayyinah. And when Bayyinah is in agreement with Bayyinah, her mind does not think differently than what her mouth says, and her actions are in harmony with what she says. So she's in unity. She's in harmony. The different parts of her agree on how to do things. Then, if she's in that state, and Dr. Tatah is in that state, and Felicia is in that state, and James Small is in that state, then all of us can easily sit down and plan for the next 100 years, because all of our united selves
Yes.
can look at the needs
Yes.
of the millions and program what is best for us all tomorrow. But I am in a broken Bayyinah, with split up in different, so there's a Bayyinah that wants to be a millionaire. And, I don't care who I walk over, I gotta become a millionaire before the end of this year. There is a Bayyinah who wants to be the most famous, blah, 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 something, something. So if she has to sell Felicia, kill Tatah to get there, it's fine. Now, when this person tells us about unity, we have to hide. Because there is no unity in the person herself. How
Yes.
could we unite to someone who's having war within self?
Damn. Yes.
And when we look at the functioning of those who are
Yes.
imposing themselves on others, well, we should not, as soon as we hear them say you, we should go like that. You know,
Mm.
I want to unite with you, but I want to take all the gold that is in your country. I want to unite. I want unity and love and blah, blah, blah with you, but I want to steal everything you got. All your fruits, I want to buy them for nothing. So this is a disturbed person who has
Mm.
not yet created even a degree of harmony within self. So this is someone we need to hide from because we could be infected. Okay? So unity comes from the inside out. I have to create a degree of unity within Bayyinah.
Mhm.
Tata has to create the degree of unity within herself. Felicia creates, and then when we get together, it's it's a party. It's not work.
It's a
Whatever we do together, it's just fun.
yeah.
Because neither one of us is looking to crush the other to grab
Mm-hmm.
anything.
Mm. Wow. Now I know why,
And
and I know why certain things work and why certain things don't work. If you're not unified within yourself, it's not going to work. Mm.
no way.
No way.
No
No
way,
way.
because I think it's just a substitute of
No
if
way.
we're talking about the same
Mm.
system of love, of self-love. It is the same thing that we keep searching for love outside. I need someone to love me. Even musicians will
Mm.
sing it and will listen to it. Like, oh, I need my happiness, or I'm searching for my happiness. And the whole thing comes back to what Bello is saying. How can you search for something from outside? I mean, just even take the fact that that same person is searching for that same thing. So who gives what to who? And so everything starts from within. I need to love myself jealously, not to even be able to share. Then I can
Mm-hmm.
give. Even if we go particularly the churchgoers, this one that always say, love your neighbor as yourself. But the nuance in the statement, Nana Bello, is, and I mean, I used to reflect and I like when they say love your neighbor as yourself, it means you need to love yourself first before you can even love your neighbor. But it's just that they keep twisting the word. And so you take away that love yourself to first of all love your neighbor. So you put the first position and then the second. So it's like I need to love my neighbor then before I love myself. Initially, that's what the word, the way they twist it to mean. But the real thing is love your neighbor as yourself means that if I didn't love myself, I would not even love my neighbor. And so going always to look for that supplement somewhere or that complement, I think that is the kind of unity that we keep saying. How do we empower one another? How do we unite? How do we get to? But I think also apart from ourselves, to build it up when we are already in that dimension, because I think all of us, the conscious community, we are already there. We are already in the state where I know I'm in harmony with myself, with Mother Nature, with my brothers and sisters. So what is the next practical step to do? I'll give a simple example. It's just like Sister Felicia is here saying, oh, we just need 200 to hit 25. We're talking to ourselves. Sometimes I say, how can I just subscribe 100 times on the show by myself? So it's just a simple like when we put this harmony that we've already overcame and we're so great. We just need to put it in action. Like, we want to see 200 people watching now to just subscribe. Let us hit the 25,000. And so we must have really, in some art, transform that fullness in us into what we call the physical, where we do see. And I think that's the next step that we're still struggling with, because, like Nana Bello said, we are still not in harmony with ourselves. And that's why we keep talking about our healing. We need to heal. We need to heal. Not that somebody is physically sick, but we're just so broken, and you cannot give what you don't have. And we keep forcing even people to give. And we break ourselves, we break our friendships, we break our families, we break everything, thinking that we have to get it somewhere else. No, it's just within. Until we get it, I don't think we'll really be able. We have a sister Nana that is coming on the Pan African and teaching about this self love. How do we love ourselves? Because the moment we are just so full of the love, it's just obvious that, it spreads. It's a vibration that just spreads. So I'm fully agreeing with that. It starts with us from the within, and the unity would just be expressed. You don't need to even sweat it, Sister Felicia, when you say power in unity. It's just visible, it's just there.
Yeah. This just us on here is power and unity. You know, this just all three of us are power and unity. Um,
Mm.
so I got a question about so so how do we fight against or or what is the strategy against forces that try to disunify us? Like, how do we fight that?
Strengthening your own unity.
Mm.
They can only come
Mm.
in if you leave
Yeah.
space.
Yes. They
Okay.
can only come in if you leave space.
So if you are one with you,
Wow.
and remember earlier we talked about our various nationalities, right? So if my
Mm-hmm.
nationality is just Republic of Haiti, then I will always have a problem with the Dominican Republic because I
Mm.
have to defend the Republic of Haiti. But if my nationality is the island of Haiti, then if I see somebody acting up because they are from the Dominican Republic, then I understand this is somebody who's not yet grown. They need to learn, and I make sure they cannot hurt me, and I might even let them hurt themselves. Perhaps they might learn something. But me,
Mm.
I don't need to do anything to them. If I understand, it's like you being attacked by a 2-year old, and then you're getting upset, you're putting your fist out, you want to knock a 2-year old or 4 year, something wrong with you.
Yes.
But if you understand your role, your position as an adult, as this and that, so the 2-year old, you just skip the
Yes.
whatever they're doing, you know.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you have, that's the thing. So we don't go, if we constantly imagine, if we're going out spending energy, going after each person who does not understand, who does not want to, who does not, has not yet grasped, you're not building your own unity. You're not protecting your own unity,
Yeah.
your own inner unity.
Yeah.
So then, when Felicia spent all day fighting with all these very different people, and Dr. Tata spent her day fighting with all this, and then in the evening we meet, we're not going to have a nice evening because you're forever going to have a,
No.
you know what this one did to me today, and that one, da, 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 da.
We're
But
exhausted.
what we
Yeah.
met, the subject, the reason we were meeting is disappeared under all the stories of the various fights you were having during the day.
Mm.
Mm-mm. You need to, many times, something is, coming your way. You say, I'm not here today. No, you're not going to see me. No, 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 no.
Mm.
I have my own unity to protect. So I'll take another road, do something else, whatever, whatever. But I'm not going to allow you to come and disrupt my unity. You know, so we have to be very jealous about protecting it.
That's it.
We have to be very careful, very selfish about protecting our unity. Okay? Spend it with people who have some, then we will enrich each other. Those who don't, let them be. In the end, here's what happens. If we build our own inner self enough, once we do something, most people, the way this world goes, 85%, they say, of any people, of any population, 85% just want to follow. 10% wants to take advantage of the 85%. And then there's a 5% who wants to try to wake up the 85%. But that's wasted energy.
That's wasted energy.
Do what you have to do. Those of the 85 who will wake up will wake up. But surely, if you build the power of your unity, that 85 who reject you today will be following you tomorrow. But don't go after it. Let it be. Don't go after it. Do what you have to do. We're in a world, it's so much about money. For me not to say all about money. So much about money. Why voodoo is rejected, is attacked, is this, that? Because we've never sat down and figured out how to put a voodoo bank. But on the day that we put up a Shango bank, you will see so many Protestants and Catholics and everybody else come and borrow from the voodoo bank. So we don't need to go and tell anybody, no, no, you should not, don't act that way about voodoo. No, 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 no. Do what we have to do, build the strength we need, put in the institutions. If you have a powerful school, a voodoo school that's producing people that is obviously capable, then a lot of people will leave other schools and come to your school. If you have a voodoo hospitals that's giving good health, then the same thing will happen. But you have to build yourself, your strength, and stand on your own ground with everything that you build. Don't build your bank and call it St. Joseph Bank if you're a voodoo person. Call it Ogu, or call it Zaka Bank. Yes.
Yeah.
And lend with lower interest than the others. Plenty of people will come. But to do that, you must accept yourself. You must be one with yourself. So I'm going to have to leave you very soon. I will say this. Pan Africanism is fine as a term, as a political term, for those who want to use it that way. And anything political will be divided into subgroups, just like Christianism is a political structure, it's a political business. How many different sects of Protestants do you know of? Tons of them. And that's normal. That's what happens to all political stuff. So, if we do what we have to do, we don't get caught up in all the different connotations, each little groupings. We don't have time for that. We stay to the essence We stay about being ourselves. We stay about strengthening ourselves. We stay about you be united with ourselves, building our own power, whether
Yes.
economic or otherwise. Then the rest will just fall into place. We'll cross over, like
Awesome.
Sister Tata told us. The crossing is
Yes.
right there. Okay? But if we're turning left and right, oh, but this group said, and that group don't want, no.
Mm-hmm. Mm. You know what? Oh gosh, I know when because a lot of times when I'm sitting here and I'm interviewing, I'm trying to like listen to what what you guys are saying, right? And sometimes I get so much into listening, I don't got nothing to say. And so when I look back, because I always have to look back so I can, because there's other things that you're saying that my mind has not taken in yet. But I know when I look back, it's just going to be me and Dr. Tatah doing this. Mm,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like I swear, it is. Look at me. I look at Dr. Tatah and see me, and I know she sees me. Like we see each other all the time. Um, I just thank you, Nana Bello. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye,
Thank you
yes.
for
Thank
having
you.
me.
Yeah.
Have a
Bye,
wonderful
everyone.
continuing and be blessed.
Thank you.
Be you.
Be
Be your divine self. Grow your unity. From your unity, your power will come. Strengthen it, protect it. Don't waste your time with those who are not yet ready. When the time comes, they'll jump in.
Mm, thank you.
Thank you. Take great care.
Thank you. We got nothing, Dr. Tata. Oh, wait. Is Dr. Tata frozen? Can you guys hear Dr. Tata? Okay. All right. In a minute, I tell you, this has been, since we first started trying to get on today, it's been crazy with this. Yeah, this has been crazy. I tell you, anytime we know we're having a powerful show, this right here happens. But we're gonna keep going. She'll come back in. Yes, Rashamela is like, this is so beautiful. And you know what? Let me just take this time to say, make sure you guys are liking and sharing this video, and make sure you send it to some other people. I want to thank everyone who gave the cash apps. Thank you, because when we talk about doing this work it costs money, and so anytime that you guys contribute via our website, or you go to our cash app, we really appreciate those dollars. We circulate them right back into what we're doing, so that we're able to bring all of these type of conversations and interviews to you guys. So thank you so very much. And if you want to donate, right there's a cash app. It's $hapifilm. I know that Synovia had asked about the One Africa conference earlier, and it's right here. You just go to hapifilm.com and you can download it. You can stream it, or you can actually rent it. You can rent it, but this is, once you start watching, you're going to want to buy it. And it's only $20 for 12 hours of Dr. Bayyinah Bello. We have Dr. Leonard Jeffries. When she was, earlier, Nana Bello was talking about, that there's some stuff she's never seen in her life. And she's talking about Dr. Jeffries, Leonard Jeffries. He kicked his leg up 90 degrees off I want you to understand, it's 90 degrees off of the floor. And he just didn't do it one time, he did it twice. So just for that alone, you need to go ahead and download, and stream the One Africa conference. But yes, we had Miss Bayyinah Bello, Dr. Susan Tatah, Riza Islam, Kaba Hiawatha Kamin, Professor James Small, Dr. Leonard Jeffries, Dr. Rosalind Jeffries, Dr. Alicia Watkins, Asar Imhotep. We had everyone in the house, and I think that's everybody. And it was being emceed by Dr. Ken Harris, who is the president of the National Business League, and he's from Detroit. So that was really nice that he was there. And Mfudishi Juhutimus actually opened up the conference, and so yes, Zanny, just $20. We were so lucky. Yes, it's $20 to see it. So make sure you go to One Africa and get your get your copy, because you will be inspired. If you thought this was inspiring right here, trust me, when you get the One Africa conference, you're gonna be like, what? And make sure when you sit down that you sit down with everyone. You bring somebody else and sit down to watch the conference. It was in Detroit, Michigan, at the end of April to May 1st. Yes, BJ, it was very, very much powerful. And so I want to say, thank you for the Cash Apps and the Super Chats. Thank you so much for donating to the HAPI movement. And you might be asking yourself, well, how can you become part of the HAPI movement? And what is the HAPI movement? So we have 4 principles in terms of the HAPI movement. 1 is to love Black people. 2 is to support Black businesses. 3 is to become more financially literate with your money. And 4 is to teach the youth the truth. Those are the principles that we are, when we think about the HAPI movement, that is what we're thinking about, those things. And also, when in terms of people are like, well, how do I join? This is how you get connected. You make sure you are part of the newsletter, because that's super duper important. You make sure, and you go to hapifilm.com. Everything you can do is at hapifilm.com. 1, you want to make sure that you are connected and you join the newsletter. The second thing is that you want to make sure that you've seen HAPI. So everyone knows HAPI Talks, and we love HAPI Talks. We are learning so much here, when we bring on people. And it's just like, it's a continuation of the work that they've been doing for years and years and years, right? So that's one piece. But HAPI Talks came from HAPI, the role of economics in the development of civilization. That's the actual, it's an actual documentary that we did. And it's 2 hours and 12 minutes, and it has 30 scholars in it. And we've shot a lot of it in Kemet. We shot across 5 other countries. And we look at this role of economics and just how we are as Black people right now. And so it's really important that you watch the film, because when you watch the film, HAPI, you're like, oh, okay, this is what HAPI is about. And then you understand how HAPI Talks came about. So right when COVID started, we were about to have this huge, premiere of the documentary. And we had a little pre-screening at Medgar Evers. But then COVID happened. So we were like, okay, this is probably going to be over in a couple of weeks. We want to still keep people energized, with the HAPI, movie. So we're going to just start, we'll just interview one person, on YouTube. And that's literally how we got started, because we were thinking COVID would be a couple of weeks and we would be back to, everything being normal. So of course that didn't happen. And, as we were, in this COVID time, we just kept bringing on people that were in HAPI and then other scholars, and HAPI Talks have taken on this other whole huge thing. But the core of what HAPI Talks, where it comes from, is HAPI, the movie. And so it's really important, when you're part of the movement, is to know what you're getting into. So you can go to hapifilm.com. So you're going to make sure you've seen HAPI, the movie. And I think almost everyone in this chat has seen HAPI, the documentary. And if not, no judgments. Go ahead head over to hapifilm.com, get your copy, and you can rent it. You can get the DVD. You can stream it. You can't rent it, but you can stream it, and you can get the DVD. And then there's 2 other films, the Tekken the Untold, the Tekken, which looks at the ancient Egyptian symbols that are in DC. And then we have Nubia, the Untold Story. So, now you've already seen, you've seen the HAPI movie. You're like, okay, now I know about HAPI Talks. And then now it's literally about doing the work, right? And a lot of times, we can't necessarily do everything, but we just have to do something. As long as we just do something, just keep on going. And I like what Dr. Bayyinah Bello said, is that, we can't have true unity until we have unity with ourselves. That was so powerful. Oh my God, I can't wait to watch this tape again and listen to more of what she was saying. But tonight was literally, when I say literally, a shining example of African unity. And this HAPI Talks exemplifies One Africa. We had Dr. Susan Tatah, who is based, she's from Cameroon, but she's based in Germany. And we had Miss Nana Bello, who she's everywhere. She's, like she said, she's universal. Oh my. So I think we're done. I don't think Dr. Susan Tatah is coming back. She must have the internet was real spotty today. So we apologize for any of the technical issues we were experiencing. But I want to thank you guys. Thank the super chats. Thanks everyone that gave the Cash App. And if you haven't, and let me make sure you guys have our Cash App right there. So that you can donate if you want to. It helps move the movement forward. It's really, we put the money right back into our community to make sure we can get these things out here. Yes, BJ Riggs, right there. Yes, that's very true. Yes, thank you, Leo. Leo is a proud supporter of the HAPI movement. I see a lot of proud supporters of the HAPI movement. Brian, everyone is up in the house. So I really want to thank you guys for, just continuing to sign on. And today we were on early and we had quite a few people on here. And yes, that's okay. Najim, I'm so not good with names. Njamil. Okay, that's okay. If you go, make sure, I will say this before I get out of here, is that it's important that we are so close to 25,000 viewers on, 25,000 subscribers on YouTube. Okay, and we are trying to get to that mark. We're only 200 people shy. Just imagine the billions of people, black people, just a billion black people in Atlanta, or a billion black people in Nigeria. So it's very important, guys, that you guys are actually subscribed to us. So you go to our channel, hapifilm, and then on YouTube, and hit the subscribe button. Then also make sure that you hit that notifications button, because as soon as we go live, then it's like, bam, you got your stuff. You are right there, and you're able to see what wonderful guests that we have on. And so, I'm just checking to make sure that I've answered everybody's question in there, in the chat. There you go. Yes, Brian. So I want to thank you guys again for all of your donations. They will definitely be put to good use. But I think that's it. So, usually Professor Small is on with us, and he always says this, but I actually take it from him, which is peace and blessings.
I don't know what we can talk about in this nation without talking about white superiority. Honestly,
Who defines the meaning of God also defines the relationship between economy and God.
African Americans spent $1.3 trillion last year, making us the 16th wealthiest nation in the world. Why have we not turned those riches into wealth to develop our community?